Breaking news that is sending shockwaves across the NFL. The Jalen Ramsey saga is officially over, and the destination is a stunner. The Pittsburgh Steelers have acquired superstar cornerback Jalen Ramsey in a blockbuster trade with the Miami Dolphins. This isn't a proposal or a rumor. This is a confirmed deal reported by insiders like Jonathan Jones of CBS Sports and Adam Schefter of ESPN. And the return for Miami is just as massive. Let's get right to the full terms of this blockbuster trade. The Pittsburgh Steelers receive CB Jalen Ramsey, T. Jonnu Smith, a 2027 7th-round draft pick. The Miami Dolphins receive S. Minkah Fitzpatrick, a 2027 5th-round draft pick. This is a monumental swap of all-pro talent. Let's break down what this means for both sides. First, the Pittsburgh Steelers. They're going all in. After adding quarterback Aaron Rodgers and cornerback Darius Slay this offseason, they now add another premier lockdown corner in Jalen Ramsey. They're loading up their defense with a mix of rising stars and proven veterans to make a serious run at the AFC title. According to reports, the Steelers are also giving Ramsey a $1.5 million raise, bringing his 2025 to 26 salary to a massive $26.6 million, showing their commitment. The belief was that Ramsey wanted to return to the West Coast, but he now lands with a potential Super Bowl contender under Mike Tomlin. Now, for the Miami Dolphins. The mutual agreement to part ways with Ramsey is complete. They move on from a significant contract and the reported friction, and in a stunning twist, they bring back a familiar face. Minkah Fitzpatrick is returning to the team that drafted him 11th overall in 2018. Fitzpatrick played just 18 games for Miami before being traded to Pittsburgh back in 2019, where he became a superstar. He returns to Miami as a 5-time Pro Bowler and 3-time first-team All-Pro. This is a huge talent acquisition for the Dolphins secondary, bringing a proven leader and playmaker back home. Dolphin GM Chris Greer had said a move was in the best interest of all parties, and getting a player of Fitzpatrick's caliber in return is a massive win. This trade officially closes the book on other potential destinations for Ramsey. Los Angeles was considered favorite, but Rams coach Sean McVay had recently mentioned there were real hurdles to a reunion. The Steelers clearly jumped over those hurdles and got their man. This is a league-altering trade. The Steelers have firmly established themselves as a top contender in the AFC, while the Dolphins swap one superstar for another in a move that brings a former draft pick back into the fold. So, who won this trade? The all-in Steelers or the Dolphins with their returning star? Let me know your immediate reactions in the comments below. What's up, everyone? While the entire NFL world is buzzing about the massive Jalen Ramsey for Minkah Fitzpatrick trade, another significant deal went down between the Pittsburgh Steelers and the Miami Dolphins that deserves a closer look. As part of the day's negotiations, the Steelers also acquired 2024 Pro Bowl tight end Jonnu Smith. This move reunites Smith with his former coach, Arthur Smith, who is now the Steelers' offensive coordinator. So, let's break down this fascinating side deal and look at the trade grades the article gives to each team. Trade details. First, here are the specifics of the Jonnu Smith portion of the trade, according to ESPN's Adam Schefter. The Pittsburgh Steelers receive T. Jonnu Smith and sign him to a new one-year, $12 million extension. The Miami Dolphins receive a late-round draft pick swap, essentially minimal draft capital in return. Pittsburgh Steelers, trade grade. The article views this as a fantastic move for Pittsburgh, giving them a grade of B+. Here's the reasoning. A bargain. The writer calls this a bargain for the Steelers. They get a Pro Bowl caliber tight end for very little in return. The Arthur Smith connection. This is the key. Arthur Smith coached Jonnu Smith in both Tennessee and Atlanta. The article states, if there's anyone who understands how to make Jonnu Smith a consistent focal point on offense, it's Arthur Smith. This pre-existing chemistry is invaluable. The Aaron Rodgers factor. The piece notes that a veteran quarterback like Aaron Rodgers has always liked using a reliable tight end as a primary target. The combination of Smith's skills and Rodgers' tendencies makes perfect sense. Overall, acquiring Smith with just a pick swap and a short extension is seen as a smart but underrated move for Pittsburgh. Miami Dolphins, trade grade. Now, let's look at the Dolphins side, where the article's tone shifts dramatically. It doesn't give a letter grade, but the analysis is highly critical. Start with the line. You sure? Here's the breakdown of the criticism. Questionable timing. The article argues that in a make or break season for both Tua Tagovailoa and Mike McDaniel, the Dolphins are not in a position to be trading away reliable offensive weapons. Losing a constant. The writer suggests Tyreek Hill is clearly on the decline, and Jalen Waddle is a bit overrated, positioning Jonnu Smith as one of the few consistent offensive pieces Miami could count on last year. Minimal return. The fact that the Dolphins received almost no notable assets in return suggests they were simply desperate to get rid of him and his contract rather than getting value back. No replacement plan. The article concludes by saying this move doesn't make Miami better, aside from saving a paltry sum of money, and it doesn't appear they have a solid plan to replace his production. So, what do you think of these grades? Was this a steal for the Steelers and a mistake by the Dolphins? Let me know who you think won this trade in the comments below.